So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build the documentation of PhysLean locally on your computer and how you can view it and perhaps even make a PDF out of it. This is great if you want to make some edits to the documentation of PhysLean and you want to see what it's going to look like when it's generated by DocGen, which is the lean package we use to generate the documentation of PhysLean. The generation itself is done automatically every night when the project updates. So let me show you how to do this. So I'm on PhysLean and I'm using Visual Studios, and I've made this change to a file. So I've added some documentation. And I want to see what that documentation is going to look like on the website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the terminal and I'm going to type lake build. And lake build is the function that you would call if you just wanted to build a project. But instead, because I want to build documentation as well, I'm going to do lake build PhysLean :docs. Now this is going to take a fairly long time to run because not only is it going to build the documentation of PhysLean, but it's also probably going to build documentation of Mathlib. Once you have built the documentation once on your local version of PhysLean, then every time you run this function again, it's going to be a lot quicker because it's not rebuilt and everything. So this may take a long time initially, and because of that, I'm going to skip forward till when it's built. Great, so this built and it took about 20 minutes to do this initial build. But what happens if you change the file and then you try and build it again is that it will happen, it will build a lot quicker. So if I now build it again after I've changed the file, it's going to do that a lot quicker than it did before. So you only have to do this really long build once, and that's because it's building all the documentation. And then next time you get it to build, it's only going to build the files that you've changed and everything obviously dependent upon that. You get a lot of warnings when you build about heartbeats and them being reached. Just ignore them. They never really affect the documentation. So you don't really need to worry so much about that. And you can see that this time it finished a lot quicker. So how do we view this documentation? Well, the simplest way, let me go all the way back, is to come to the top level directory of your local PhysLean repository. And this is in something like Finder on Mac or any other type of, file explorer on whatever OS you're using. So in Mac, or on my Mac, my PhysLean directory is actually in a file called PhysLean bump. It's basically because this is, historically I was trying to bump PhysLean and I just haven't changed it. Yours will probably just be in a folder called PhysLean. And we want to view the hidden files. So we press Command on a Mac, Command space dot, and we want to go to the lake file, build, doc, and a bunch of folders have already opened for me. But basically, you want to go into PhysLean, and you want to find the folder that you want to see. So in my case, I want to see something in string theory, F theory, and it's already open because I tried to look at it before, but it is this folder here that I want to see. So how do we view that? Well, we right click and we press Option, and we get this option to copy as file name or as path name. You can obviously do this if you just know the path name. If you know the path name, you don't have to go through the steps that I just showed you. But then we want to come over to Safari or whatever web browser you use, type file, and then copy that path name in, and then press enter. And then we can see we get the documentation that we just wrote, and this is the local version. And if we change the documentation over here, that is going to change on this web page. And now if you want to print this, the best to make it like a nice PDF that you can share, the way to do that is, or the best way that I found to do that is to come up onto the web page, click Inspect Elements. You click this little paintbrush thing, and then you can start deleting stuff that you don't think looks nice. So we can delete this sidebar. We just click on it and we press the the delete key, and that will delete that. We can come down here. We can delete this sidebar. We can delete the header if we wanted to. We have to find it. delete that. And then we can close this and we get a nice page that we can go file, print, or file export as PDF. And it's going to give you a nice PDF, which is just the documentation without any of the other fluff. So that's how you make and install the local documentation of PhysLean. If you have any questions, feel free to put them on the Lean Zulip or in the comments of this video. Thank you for watching.